Hello, doggo. Aren't you a good boy? Man, why is it that every time I make a vlog, I don't make another vlog for like ages? It's like I want a moto vlog, but then I have trouble just doing it. Well, let's make one. Hi, I'm Chad, and welcome to Virtual Reality. I like to start my vlogs in virtual reality because it is a place where we can go fast. So without further ado, let us go fast. Back to reality. So, if you've watched any of my videos before this one, it's pretty clear that I'm not riding the motorcycle that I normally ride. This is in fact not a 2012 Triumph Daytona 675R. No, this is a 2017 Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 RR. And this is my new motorcycle. I still have the Daytona, and I'm not planning on getting rid of it. It is just going to be a more track-oriented machine going forward. As you may have noticed, if you've watched my previous track day vlogs and other track day shenanigans, or if you follow me on Instagram or social media, you'll probably realize, hey, you know what, I want to go right here. It's prettier this way. You've probably noticed that I have a set of race fairings for my Daytona, which are fiberglass and oh yeah, oh boy, this thing's gonna get me in trouble. But anyways, I have a set of fiberglass race fairings that delete the headlights and tail light, save a little bit of weight there, and then if it were to get chucked down the road, it wouldn't be as heartbreaking. So those go on the bike every time I take it to the track, and they come back off every time I get back so that I can ride on the street again. And I just got kind of tired of doing that. But that's not the only reason. God, I love the blipper on this thing. Street Rossi over here. Another thing that I wanted to do though is focus more on riding altogether. I want to get more time in at the racetrack and really improve my skills as a rider, but at the same time I still want to ride on the street frequently because I enjoy it. It's fun, it's nice. I mean, look at this view right here. It's a beautiful early morning view. Don't get too distracted though. That's gorgeous. True beauty right there. To make it a little bit more easy to ride on the street, especially for longer periods of time, I decided it would be prudent of me to buy something with flat bars. Or a handlebar, actually, not clip-ons, so that I'm sitting much more upright and something with a softer seat. But I didn't want to get like a touring bike. I still wanted something that was fun and fast, and the Tuono just checked all the boxes. I may have also alluded in my last moto vlog back in like April, I think, that there was a possibility I could be ending up with a new motorcycle later on this year. That is as a result of work going very, very well. So happy hunky-dory there. Yeah, so this is a 2017 Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 RR. So I bought it from a very nice man out in East Vale. It's just a stone's throw over the mountains from me. And he bought the bike brand new in 2018. It was leftover inventory from 2017. And he put, always so good. And he put about 2,900 miles on it when I bought it from him. The original owner, clean title, and he just barely rode it. So I got super lucky. It was a very good deal and came with these nice Pazzo levers. These are not the cheap China levers that I'm so accustomed to. Then it also has a Graves exhaust, which I'm sure is pretty obvious at this point. And then he gave me the open flash tablet that he used to tune it, and it's got a map on it because, you know, of course we're in virtual reality, and in virtual reality this bike has no catalytic converter, but it totally does in real reality. Dive in a little bit deeper into why I chose a Tuono over anything else, because there wasn't really any other bikes I was considering. It was basically just, when can I find a Tuono that works for me? So when I first started riding, the RSV4 was still a pretty new motorcycle, and I just loved that thing. It was so sexy. It still is so sexy, but it was just amazing. And I love the V4 engine. I love the way it sounds. It makes you feel like a MotoGP rider. And I always imagined myself on one of those eventually, when I felt that I was enough of a rider to handle one. That was back in like 2013 and 14, and you know, my priorities changed a bit. I'd still like to own an RSV4 one day, but probably as a track bike. But the Tuono is just an incredible machine that really checks all of the naked superbike boxes. Because it's if you're not familiar with the Tuono, it is basically a naked RSV4 with a slightly watered down engine. The chassis, the suspension are all the same as the, oh man, look at that, that was from like 2,500 RPM. But the chassis and suspension are shared with the RSV4RR, as well as the electronics package. In 2016, they upped the engine capacity from 1,000 cc's to 1,100. So this being a 2017 also has the 1,100 engine. The RSV4 eventually got the 1,100 engine, but not until I think 2018 or 19 because of Euro 4. Off the showroom floor, this bike makes 175 horsepower and I think 89 or 90 foot-pounds of torque. It's pretty ridiculous. And then with the exhaust and the tune, the owner told me this bike should be making at least 180 horsepower. So pretty ridiculous. And it's been quite an adjustment from my Daytona. Basically just torque everywhere. And that beautiful V4 sound. Still love my Daytona and the inline 3. Nothing's going to change that, but it is quite good too. Possibly better. So this bike just kind of fits more in line with my goals as a rider. Have a machine that's more track focused, so I can get better there and not have to spend a ton of time switching my bike back and forth between track mode and street mode. And then when it comes to this, I mean, this is actually a really comfortable bike. You do sit a little bit forward, so it is still a sporty riding position despite the flat bars, but it's not too bad. You're barely forward, it's just a little bit. And I mean, if you really want to, like, you know, stretch or something, you can sit up a little straighter. Especially me being 6'3", I have a very long reach, so I can still keep my hands on the bars while essentially sitting totally straight up. The seat's very comfortable. The suspension actually was set up for the guy that I bought it from, who was just about my size, about the same weight, so it feels really good. I think it's set a little bit on the soft side, which is totally fine because it's a street bike, and this is probably, I could see it going to the racetrack maybe once or twice, but it's going to be primarily a street bike, so it's still a firm, you know, sporty ride that provides good feedback and grip, but it's a little softer than the Daytona, not quite as spine crunching, so that's nice. Then in addition to that, I love having a ton of power, and it's like, I'll be straight with you guys, this is much more power than I know what to do with. Way excessive. But I kind of like that. It's kind of fun. It makes things very interesting. This bike's very quick to pop a wheelie and shake its head, and the wheelie control's very quick to get it back in line. So good. And back to reality. But yeah, this thing is it's pretty freaking fast. It's intimidating to crack that throttle open hard and wide, especially fully open. It's insane. I mean, this thing is like warp speed. It's bonkers, but it's so much fun. It's the ultimate giggle machine if you are somewhat experienced in riding a motorcycle. Oh, all the blips. I think I want to make another video where I take a deeper dive into this bike and talk a little bit more about all the fancy electronics and stuff that it has. I could run through them real quick. It's got traction control, cornering ABS, launch control, wheelie control, quick shift and auto blip, or quick shift down as Aprilia calls it. Cruise control, as you can probably see here, which is unbelievable, so cool. And then it has different engine maps as well. Who can forget the most obvious electronic of them all? This beautiful TFT dash in color. I mean, it's amazing to be riding a motorcycle with such modern technology. But now, going into a little bit of story time. So, back in March, just before the pandemic hit, I went and did a KTM Demo Days event, and I test rode two bikes, one of which was a 1290 Super Duke R. And I actually got to ride a nice route with it back on a Mellow Canyon road. It was a blast, and it was at that moment I was just like, I need a naked bike. I want to be able to sit somewhat upright and be comfortable and ride for a long period of time, but still be able to ride at a brisk pace and make myself giggle when I crack open the throttle. But the Super Duke R was a brand new bike and just not really something I wanted to buy, out of my budget, to be frank. Older models were, but the Tuono. I always loved the RSV4. The fact that the Tuono is a naked RSV4 with some minor modifications to make it more street friendly, it just, I mean, how could you say no to that when you me? I just needed to find a 2017 model so that I got all the modern electronics that I liked so much, and I was able to pull that off. And then just a little bit of a life update. If you refer back to my last vlog, I believe, or the vlog before that, I think I talked about how I got a promotion and am finally making some real big boy monies. And the combination of that and actually a good stock purchase enabled me to buy this machine. I purchased Norwegian Cruise Line stock based on a tip from a friend of my friend, Jose, who then shared it with me. So thanks, Jose and Jose's friend. You guys really made this happen for me. But I purchased Norwegian Cruise Line stock in May, I think towards the end of May, at about $13.93 a share. And I sold it just over 2 weeks later at $27.94 a share, I think. So literally doubled my money. And that put me in the position where this was suddenly very realistic and not just somewhat realistic. So that was pretty cool. And you know, usually things don't work out that way. I know lots of people tried getting into the stock market in this crazy COVID time when it's really all just speculation, and I took a huge risk in doing that, but it paid off, and I'm really glad that it did, because I love this thing. Before I wrap this up, let's find a place to pull over so you guys can just see how gorgeous this thing is. All right, so here she is in all of her Italian glory. So I've named her Bella, and again, 2017 Aprilia Tuono V4 1100RR. So, as I mentioned earlier on in the vlog, got this beautiful Graves exhaust here with the carbon fiber muffler. Bike has been tuned for it, so runs nice and good. And then that was added by the previous owner. And then we've got these nice Pazzo levers here. Real Pazzo levers, not China levers. And I gotta say, they're quite nice. Outside of that, oh, before I forget, engine case covers. These are Aprilia, and they came on the bike. So thank you, previous owner, Mr. Danny. So, man, I keep forgetting stuff. The last thing, tail tidy, fender eliminator kit, right there. Beautiful. Looks much nicer than the stock thing. So since I've gotten the bike, I've added a couple things. First being the stomp grips, because I don't like sliding around in the saddle. That helps with that. Then I've got this cool little lever adapter right here. If you notice, this piece kind of drops down from here. This is a little pinch bolt, and the stock toe peg is eccentric, so this kind of is as well, but has a 1-inch drop on it. So I think the peg comes from Woodcraft, and this is made by AF1 Racing. Great Aprilia resource if you need parts for your Aprilia. Highly recommend af1racing.com. This is not paid product placement. And then the last thing I've added is this GP shift lever adapter down here. So this just converts the stock rear set to GP shift. So 1 up, 5 down, and the factory quick shifter and blipper all still work as you'd expect. Very happy with that. That's it thus far for the bike. She's a gorgeous girl, if you ask me, and I think many people would agree. Got to love that sexy little running light right there. But beautiful machine. A little dirty right now. I'll need to wash her soon. The only Italianish kind of things that I've run into, and Italianish, just sorry to generalize, I shouldn't do that. Let me take that back. 2 things that I need to get done to this bike. There is a brake pad recall, which I think affects many more bikes than just Aprilia's, but I checked my brake pads when I bought the bike, and again after I got the recall notice, they looked fine, so they feel fine too and work great. So I'm not super worried about it, but I do have an appointment to drop it off to get the pads checked and probably replaced tomorrow. And then the last thing, this is kind of wonky and you can't tell because I'm not about to do it, but you know what, screw it. Here, I'll do it real quick, because maybe this will help document my case. And you can see the beautiful dash do its little dance. See that? Ooh. Oh, so sexy. Alright, so put the bike in neutral. Now check the trip odometer. See, it is 79.6 miles right now. Watch this. Oh, you're not going to do it, huh? What if we go forward? There it is. You see that? Just went up from 79.6 to now 79.9 miles. I mean, you guys watch that, right? I literally rolled it back there and then back up to where it was originally. There's no way that was 0.3 miles. It was like 0.3 meters. That was a little more than that, but still, that was like 7 feet. Come on. So apparently there's a dash update for that. So I'm working with Orange County, KTM, Husqvarna, Aprilia to get that taken care of as well. But anyways, that is about it. I'm up to just actually, I think on this ride I probably cracked 4,000 miles. So I've had the bike for about a month and a half, and I've already put over 1,000 miles on it. 2,899 miles was the odometer reading when I signed over the paperwork for the bike. So yeah, I've been riding this thing quite a lot. It makes me very happy to ride, and it makes me really happy to start. One more time. Hot damn. Woo. Rossi. Woo, roadkill there. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video, you could like, you could comment, you could subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I haven't been great about posting content, and I promised that was going to change at least like 3 or 4 times in the last like year and a half. So I'm just gonna do my best from here on out. I'm a busy guy and got a lot going on. I'm actually I'm moving right now. That's another big life update thing. I'll just talk about that one in another video. But yeah, if you want to see more Tuono V4 content and some track day stuff on my Daytona 675R, subscribe, maybe hit that notification bell, like the video. It'd be cool. But yeah, hope to see you in the next one. Later. Oh wait, real quick. Ooh, look at this. This view. Don't get too distracted though, Chad, but damn. Isn't that amazing? I love where I live. So beautiful. Those red rocks there. It's like I'm in a movie. God, that was 5th gear. Later, guys.